Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson. And in this lesson I want to show you guys about something called resource restrictions. So if we open it up, we see that we only have one line here, and we can see that it's role. Okay, so IBM has created three different criterias upon which we can create restrictions on, which is tenant, domain, and role. So let's go ahead and, just for example's sake, create a new user role. And of course, each of the things I'm going to show you is going to get its own dedicated video. But just to make this chapter more clear, we'll do that right now. Let's give it some random stuff right here. And now it's saved. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new domain. And I'm going to assign to it my event processor, the new one. And again, no need to worry about this. Each of the concept of roles, domains, and tenants will be getting, each of them will be getting a dedicated video. Okay, so we created a new role, we created a new domain and tenant, and we assigned the tenant to the domain. So if we go ahead and open resource restrictions, we can see that now we can basically switch between role and tenant. Right? And IBM says exactly that. So if you go ahead and go to admin role, we see that we have our own username here. And the reason we don't see the test role is because we didn't create a user for it, right? So let's actually go ahead and do that. Okay. I give it a test role. Yeah. And you can leave the rest as a default. And again, user management will get its own dedicated chapter. And now we have to deploy changes because we created a new user. So let me pause right here quickly, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, welcome back. And as we can see, the deploy is finished. So let's go ahead back to resource restrictions. And now we can see that we have a test role because we created a user within it. So when we create our restrictions, we can apply them based on execution time, based on record limit, and based on time span. So execution times, it basically means that if we limit by execution time, event flow query would be automatically stopped after executing for the assigned period of time. So this is a great safeguard against bad searches that can be stuck for a long time and slow your deployment. So a good amount would probably be 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, the search would automatically cancel for every for this current user that we are restricting on. And time span means that event flow query would be limited to the assigned time range. So we can restrict this and say that this specific user cannot search any earlier than 7 days. So if this user is going to search 14 days, it's not going to work for him because we limited it for only 7 days. And the last one, record limit, the query would be automatically stopped after the assigned number of records is processed. So we can say, hey, if this user is running a search that returns more than 50,000 events, then cancel it. And we can go ahead and save it. And now we can see our restrictions here. And we can modify them. Okay, so you can either restrict based on a specific user, and you can also click here to restrict based on the entire role, right? So if you had, let's say, like 10 users here, and you wanted to apply the same restrictions on them, then you would do it in that way. And now those restrictions are applied to the entire role itself. And you can do exactly the same for tenants. So if you have a tenant that has a search access to your console, you can limit him with the same parameters. So like you can give a client, an external client, access to your deployment and give him search permissions, and you want to limit his search permissions so that he won't run searches that will slow down the deployment for everyone, and you can do that as well. So that has been it for resource restrictions, and I will see you guys in the next video.